When the streets thought they had found their ruler, the game shifts again. Chicago is burning with ambition, betrayal, and blood. And now, a ghost from New York's past returns to claim his piece of the empire. Tariq St is back. And nothing will ever be the same. Chicago isn't just a city, it's a battlefield. Every block carries its own rules, every corner has its own soldiers, and every face hides a secret. In this war for power, only the ruthless survive? Tommy Egan thought he understood that. He thought his hunger, his fire, his rage were enough to crown him the new king of Chicago. But Season 2 left him surrounded by enemies, haunted by allies, who turned into traitors and trapped in a city that eats men alive. Tommy carved his empire out of blood. He built it from scraps, from bullets, from bodies buried under the cold Chicago night. But power never comes without a price, and his enemies have been sharpening their knives, waiting for the right moment to strike. The city is restless, gangs. Rising, the feds watching, and whispers of betrayal crawling through the dark alleys. Tommy stands tall, his name feared, but he is not untouchable. His enemies are growing, and every move he makes draws more heat. But what Chicago doesn't know is that another shadow is stepping into the game. A name that once belonged to New York's darkest hustle, a name drenched in legacy, lies, and ambition. Tariq St. He has been gone, silent, playing the long game. But silence does not mean weakness. It means calculation. And now Tariq returns, not as the boy people once underestimated, but as a man forged by betrayal, hardened by loss, and sharpened by the lessons of his father's empire. For Tommy, the city is a war to be won. For Tariq, it is justice waiting to be taken. Their paths were never meant to cross here, but fate doesn't care about what's meant to be. Fate only cares about chaos. And chaos is coming. The city of Chicago is about to witness a storm. Tommy with his brutal fists and ruthless will. Tariq with his sharp mind and cold ambition. Both men chasing the same crown. Both men hungry for the same throne. But in a city like this, there is no room for two kings. Season 3 begins where the last battle ended streets dripping with blood. Alliances burned to ash, and a single question echoing in the shadows. Who will rule and who will fall? Tariq. St. never walks into a room without a plan. He doesn't shout, he doesn't brag, and he doesn't show his hand until it's too late. That's what makes him dangerous. While Tommy built his empire through fists, guns, and fire, Tariq builds his through silence, patience, and precision. And when he returns to Chicago, the city doesn't even realize at first that the game has changed. But in the shadows, it already has. For Tariq, this isn't just about money or power. It's about survival. It's about making his mark in a world that only remembers his father, Ghost, to the streets. Tariq is still Ghost's son, the boy who carried a legacy of lies, murder, and betrayal. But Tariq has learned from all of it. He has studied every angle, every weakness, every strength that brought his father glory and dragged him to the grave. Tariq is not here to repeat history. He is here to rewrite it, but Chicago is not new. York, here the rules are raw, the battles are ruthless, and loyalty lasts only as long as the next payday. Tariq steps into a city ruled by Tommy Egan, a man who once stood shoulder to shoulder with Ghost, a man who only trusts the language of bullets. Tommy has no patience for schemers, no tolerance for whispers, no mercy for those who cross him. And now, standing in his city is the one person he never expected to see again. Tariq, the boy who carries the name of his dead best friend, the boy who knows secrets no one else does. Tommy doesn't trust him. He never will. Tariq is a ghost walking into his war zone, and ghosts only bring death. But Tommy also knows something else. Tariq is smart, too smart to ignore. He has connections, he has knowledge, and he has the kind of hunger Tommy respects even when he hates it. Their reunion isn't a handshake, it's a warning. Two men staring at each other, both knowing one truth, sooner or later. This city isn't big enough for both of them. As Tariq weaves his way into Chicago's underworld, whispers start to spread. The corners hear it, the clubs feel it, the gangs sense it. There's someone new in play, someone who doesn't fight with rage but with reason. He doesn't storm through doors with guns blazing, he slips through cracks no one else notices. Tariq isn't looking for friends. He's looking for leverage. And in a city drowning in greed, betrayal, and ambition, leverage is worth more than loyalty. Every move Tariq makes sends ripples through the streets. Every decision sets off a chain reaction. A deal struck here, a secret revealed there, a bond broken in silence. Slowly, the balance Tommy built starts to tilt. Old allies question their loyalty. Rivals sense weakness. The city that once bent under Tommy's will begins to shift. Not because Tariq is louder, but because he is smarter. And in a war for power, brains can cut deeper than bullets. But make no mistake, Tariq isn't untouchable. His name may bring fear, his mind may bring strategy, but Chicago has a way of testing every man who thinks he's untouchable. Tariq is stepping into fire, and even the sharpest mind can burn. The question isn't whether Tariq can outthink Tommy. The question is whether he can survive Chicago itself. Because this city has swallowed men bigger than him, stronger than him, more ruthless than him. And if Tariq slips, even once, the streets will eat him alive. As the tension rises, the city becomes a chessboard. Tommy plays with violence. Tariq plays with patience. Both are hunting the same throne. Both are willing to bleed for it. But in this game, one mistake means death. And in Chicago, death waits around every corner. Asterisk, the war doesn't start with gunfire. It starts with whispers. In Chicago, information spreads faster than bullets, and the first whisper is this: Tariq St. Patrick is back. That name alone sends shivers through the alleys and boardrooms alike. To some, it's an opportunity. To others, it's a threat. And to Tommy Egan, it's a problem he cannot afford to ignore. Tommy built his throne on fear and loyalty, too. Things he controls with an iron hand. But Tariq's return rattles the balance. Suddenly, soldiers who once swore their lives to Tommy start questioning their place. They see in Tariq something different, something calmer, sharper, almost untouchable. He doesn't promise protection through violence. He promises opportunity through strategy. For men tired of bleeding in Tommy's wars, Tariq's way begins to look like survival. And in this game, survival always wins loyalty, but Tommy isn't blind. He sees the shift. He feels the cracks forming in his empire. Chicago was supposed to be his clean slate, his second chance at building an untouchable kingdom. Now, Tariq's shadow crawls over every corner of it, poisoning the loyalty Tommy fought to earn. Rage is Tommy's nature, and rage is what rises. To him, Tariq is nothing but Ghost's son, a reminder of a past that never stays buried. And Tommy knows the truth: if Tariq is in Chicago, then betrayal isn't far behind. Tariq, meanwhile, plays the long game. He doesn't challenge Tommy openly. He doesn't storm into his territory with soldiers and guns. Instead, he slides into the cracks Tommy refuses to see. He builds quiet alliances with rivals who fear Tommy's wrath, with businessmen who want profit without blood, with lieutenants who want respect instead of fear. Tariq offers what Tommy never could: a future that isn't chained to endless war. And slowly the city begins to lean toward him, but every gain Tariq makes costs him something. The deeper he goes into Chicago's underworld, the more he feels the weight of his father's ghost pressing down on him. Tariq swore he would never become the man Ghost was, yet every choice pulls him closer to that shadow. Lies, deals made. In silence, promises he doesn't intend to keep. Tariq tells himself it's different, that his war is for survival, not greed, but in Chicago, intentions don't matter. Results do. Tommy and Tariq are bound by blood spilled in New York, but Chicago doesn't care about their history. Here, they are just two men fighting for the same crown. Their methods clash: Tommy's fists against Tariq's mind, but both have the same flaw: pride. Neither man will bend. Neither man will bow. And as the streets tighten around them, that pride will drive them straight into war. The first shots aren't fired on a battlefield. They're fired in hearts and minds. A soldier walks away from Tommy's side. A deal slips through his fingers. A whisper reaches his ear: Tariq is smarter than you. That's all it takes. Rage burns, old scars bleed. And the storm begins to rise. Chicago is no longer just a city. It's a chessboard. Every move is deadly, every piece is fragile, and every player knows one truth: when kings clash, pawns get buried, and this war, it won't just shake the streets. It will drown them in blood. The war doesn't creep anymore, it explodes. The whispers turn into screams, and the chessboard shatters under the weight of betrayal. Blood runs faster than money now, and every move carries a price. Chicago is burning, and at the center of the fire stand two men, Tommy Egan and Tariq St. Tommy was never one to wait. When his world cracks, he doesn't patch it. He tears it down and rebuilds it in blood. His enemies see his rage coming before they feel it, but it's too late to run. Chicago's nights are lit with fire as Tommy sends a brutal message to anyone daring to cross him, loyalty or death. But even as bodies drop, one truth haunts him: this isn't enough. Because Tariq is not fighting the same war. Tariq doesn't meet rage with rage. He meets it with silence, with patience, with traps so carefully laid that his enemies never see the blade until it's already in their backs. The streets choose sides. Some stand with Tommy, clinging to the fire they know. Others follow Tariq, pulled in by the promise of something sharper, something colder, something smarter. But there are no safe choices. Every alliance carries a dagger hidden behind a smile. Every friend could be tomorrow's traitor. In this city, loyalty doesn't last. It dies the moment the money shifts. Tariq knows it. He embraces it. But even he feels the walls closing in. To fight Tommy means more than outthinking him. It means surviving the chaos that Tommy leaves behind, and as Tariq plays his game, he begins to see the shadows of his father in every move he makes. The weight of Ghost's legacy presses down harder than ever. Is he truly different? Or is he becoming the very man he swore never to be? For Tommy, the war is personal. Tariq carries Ghost's name, Ghost's blood, and Ghost's memory. To Tommy, that's unforgivable. Every time he looks at Tariq, he sees the man who betrayed him, the brother he buried, the ghost that never stays in the grave. For Tariq, the war is survival. For Tommy, it's revenge. Two men bound by the same past, both chained to the same future, an ending written in blood. The final act of this season doesn't come with a quiet whisper. It comes with thunder. Chicago's streets erupt, gunfire in the alleys, explosions shaking the skyline, betrayal tearing families apart. Every character is forced to choose: stand with Tommy or stand with Tariq. And when the dust settles, only one king can remain. But the question isn't just who survives. It's who changes. Tariq stands at the edge of the mirror, seeing Ghost's reflection in his own eyes. Tommy stands in the fire, his rage threatening to consume everything he's built. Both men know the truth: this city won't forgive them. It will only bury them deeper. And as the trailer closes, the screen fades to black. Only one line remains, echoing through the silence like a warning, like a prophecy: two kings, one city, no peace. Then the title slams across the screen. Power. Book 4, Force, Season 3, Tariq's back to shake Chicago.